They have me laughing again. I can't help it. So that was another great top 5 video from Zaccubus. There's some great air rocks in there.
Definitely getting better.
Great flag shot, and Levac had a great comeback against Gesk, who tried to feign death there. A little tribute to Pete. That was a great video. We loved that one. I actually wanted to have a video to send in, but thanks to Skins, it didn't get recorded. I had one of those. I'm just going to throw a flak ball up here, and it got White Gumby right in the face when he had the flag.
It was not Zach's fault.
Huh?
It was not Zach's fault.
No, it wasn't Zach's fault. It was Skins, for sure.
But really, I think.
But yes, that.
But I guess
we'll just say it was Zach's
Zach.
fault.
Yeah.
It was Zach's fault.
Yeah. He takes responsibility.
Hello, everyone. We are live here with Steve, Sid, and Jim, and we have a big show here today. First of all, we're going to talk about the new build that's going to be out possibly this week, possibly next week.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Hopefully this week. I think we're about at the point where we'll have a solid candidate tonight. So it depends on how testing goes, but it still seems quite possible this week. We're trying hard to get it done. I've got a big list of new stuff. I'm not sure I got everything. I was doing this right before the stream started, so we've had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes, a lot of swearing going on in the war room trying to get this done.
Yes, but so we're excited about getting it out. We'd love to hear you guys' feedback when we get it out, and hopefully there'll be a lot of good improvements that improve the experience. I'm supposed to talk about it now? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to?
I'd just like to point out before you do that, we didn't plan the shirt.
I know.
And I actually told Stacy this morning I almost wore that exact same shirt.
I wish you would.
So you would have been the odd man out, and we all three would have looked like complete dorks.
We would have just taped a big yellow.
But anyway, gray, so I digress.
He's just lucky he doesn't have throw up on it from the baby.
Yes. You always have those little patches on your.
Aww.
So anyway,
so new build.
So back to the new build. The biggest thing that you'll see first is we have some real improvements to how we render weapons. We're using this Panini projection to distort them so that they don't look elongated at different FOVs. Looks really good, makes all the weapons look much better. We've done some adjustment to weapons. We also have...
And they stay the same whenever you do change your FOV, so they're a constant, which is nice.
Also, they should light better now because we also... Another thing that this effect does is we render them in front of geometries that don't have the clipping problems before, which means that you can make them larger size and get better lighting on them. So, and they definitely look a lot better. We also have the new rocket launcher prototype in, which is really awesome. It's still early work in progress, but you can already see how cool it's going to be. So I think those will be really cool things to see. We have, let me just go through the list. We have a kill feed now. So now kill messages are separate from regular console traffic or chat. It's up in the top left corner. By default now, we default to kill icon messages, so they're really easy to read. You can go back to the classic style, kind of funny messages we have. That's also still available in the same kill feed area. Boom, boom. What's next? Sliding. So just I did some tweaks. I think I mentioned this in one of the past streams, but where we now also have a separate friction value for when you're sliding. So that means that the changes we did to improve movement direction changes are now separate from what it does to sliding. So sliding has starts off. You get a nicer transition of some more speed at the beginning of your slide. I think it'll feel more like it did before the most recent build. Boom. Let's see. Improvements to hubs. Improvements to map vote. Lots of hub fixes. Better support for custom content and custom game types in hubs. So we're continuing to keep working on that. We've got a new hub UI layout that's coming soon, but won't be in this build. That all this stuff will really make all really come together when I think we get that in there. We've continued to make improvements to stats. We now also show stats on your in-game stats on your player card. We've got some fixes to sending stats up to the stat server. I think we've got all that sorted out now. We've got movement stats and other new stats in there. So we're keeping. I mean, it just we're just trying to figure out what the right set of cool
I'm getting overwhelmed just
data porn for our game is, and then figuring out better ways to present it. Right now we're coming up with lots of cool stats, and then we're going to try to improve how we present it so that you see the most important information that's most relevant to what your actual what you actually did in the match and what was and what. So we continue to work on that. We've been working on the replay system. We've fixed a bunch of bugs with the replay system. Pete added annotations, so now you can see major events during the match, you can see them on the timeline, so it's easy to get to them. He also added high-res screenshots, so there's a screenshot button, and you can take 4K screenshots from within a replay. So that's a nice thing, because it's hard. You can't really do that in game because it pauses. You know, you kind of get a big hitch when you're doing that. So, and then you can also record videos, and from within replays, and it will record them to the WebM format and upload them to YouTube for you. Let's see. So that's
which we showed off in last week's or 2 weeks ago.
I did not know.
We added, for guys like Sid, an option. There's an option in the menu now to turn off slide from run. So if you don't want to, you can't, you know, don't have enough finger dexterity to.
Oh.
That was a low blow.
No, but anyway, so that's an option for people who want it. But that means that you lose the ability to slide from run, but then you don't slide off.
Slide off of
ledges if you're trying to use it to stop yourself. Let's see, we've got we've fixed some networking issues, including I think I finally, although you guys will probably tell me how it's still broken in some way that I haven't figured out yet, but got combos nailed down for networking, I hope. So I fixed the problems that had been reported by the community, I think. So we'll see. Please tell me, and I'm sure you will, how it's still how they're still broken. We also got a few performance improvements in. The two biggest things were Matt fixed. We had a bug where when we added the TACCOM, it was making characters render through walls even when they didn't have TACCOM, so that you didn't see them, but you were paying the rendering cost of them. That got fixed. And I also when we moved to 4.8, all our performance buckets that automatically set your base systems, you know, like settings for like graphics settings based on your system, we had set up buckets before the big GDC build when we released Outpost that were optimized for UT. Those had gotten knocked out when we moved to 4.8, so those are back in now. So that should also help when people, and if you
effects and things will start to look a lot better.
So those are applied when you first launch. It sets the settings that it thinks will work, give you the best performance to graphics, and then also you can go into your settings, graphics options, and there's a button you can press to reset to what it thinks the best defaults are for you. So if you aren't happy with the performance, that's a good thing to start with, is you hit that button, it'll set you to where we think you should be, and then you can tweak further if you need to. Let's see, performance, I can't read my writing.
I can't either.
There's a few minor, or not necessarily minor, but a few weapon tweaks. Reduce the momentum on flak, especially after bounces and things like that.
Wow.
Also attenuating damage more at long distances. So the big thing that, the big kind of thing that we were trying to eliminate with that is things like you shoot shards at somebody far away, it bounces off a wall behind them and hurts them. It should not do. I mean, that's the kind of, that's not really the intended use of the flat cannon. We also slightly decreased.
Did they die? That's my intended use.
The shock combo radius and the rocket damage radius. These are tweaks. These are not major changes, but I mean, we'll have some impact, and so we're interested to see how that affects overall balance. Those kind of changes, I mean, we're interested in your feedback, but we'll kind of let them sit for a little while and see how it affects play. Like, those are the kind of things that have a slow impact on people's preferences in play. So we'll let them. We'll see how that works.
Don't knee-jerk react. Actually, try it, please.
Yep.
I guess mention that people like to follow trends.
Yes.
And then the trend has more impact than the actual change itself.
Yes.
Because everybody's not gravitating towards a certain thing, sort of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's one of the things. That's why there's a lot of times where we'll realize that something needs to be changed, but we'll kind of let it sit for a while to really understand where it is. Then, rather than if you made huge changes every build, players can't catch up with what the real balance is.
The baseline is.
Yeah. That's everything on my list. I know I missed a lot of stuff. So there's more.
Did you talk about the tutorial stuff?
Oh, I did not. Can you talk about the tutorial stuff?
Sure, I'd love to talk about the tutorial stuff. So there's going to be a first pass of the new and improved version of the learn section, basically, in the game. I expect there will be broken things to be found, especially with the UI. But yeah, basically, it's taking the old basic training stuff. It's gotten a basic visual pass, and it's now split out into 3 different sections. So
Cool.
Everything that used to be in basic training is now its own unique thing, and it has its own UI element where you can track time, you can track tokens, collect it. It'll track the time only when you collect all tokens. You can recollect them similar to Run in Mario. So if you have it picked up before, it'll store it in the cloud on your account, and it'll show the ghost version instead.
Nice.
So you can keep doing those runs and just keep picking up the ghost versions if you picked up the original ones already. And then it also has 4 basic sections for our game types that right now for this build are going to be just bare bones. You load into a bot match with stuff, but it's going to get some more polish in soon. But yeah.
So even if you know how to play the game, which I'm assuming most people watching the stream do, we'd still love for you to try it out, give us feedback on what you think works or what you think could be improved. I mean, I think, and as Sid mentioned, I mean, in addition to giving people an introduction to the weapons and movement and the game modes, the other thing that we're trying to do with the training is make it kind of fun to try to go through and beat your best time, and we'll keep track on your player card. We'll show your best training time through the training run.
There's no leaderboards or anything right now, but it basically just displays your own personal best.
Yeah, or you can make a video like Luxus did.
But we'll make that a stat, and we'll put it in the player card.
So there's tons of room for
videos.
Improvement. It's a very, very, very first pass.
Luxus did a video. It's like 10 minutes long. We posted on our Facebook page. Check it out. He does a speed run. I think he did your one.
I don't think it was a tutorial that he did. I think he did one of Timmy's.
It was it was one of
I think it was your map.
I think it was a speed map. Timmy uses the same assets in, in the speed maps that the tutorial used to use. So
we're trying to get a preview of that up on Frag Center too. So
that's awesome. All right, so then let's shout out to Luxus and tell him to pick up Sid's new map, play that one, and post a video about that. It was really cool. And we have a new logo back there. It was here last week, which I didn't know. The Gobo from Shelly, shaking on the wall because Zach bumped it or something. I don't know what he did. It's very cool.
Zach. He brushes it with his head.
I forget we're on the second floor. I keep thinking we're on the top floor. So yeah, somebody was upstairs walking around, but that is super cool. We love it. Okay, so next we have a new contractor to talk to. Who's that? So we're gonna bring in
mind blown. Oh, the explosion! And we caught him with his tea.
Yes.
We have Zaccubus. Zaccubus is going to be doing some videos for us. He's going to be working on Frag Center, and we've brought him on as a contractor because he's been doing so many amazing things. How you doing, Zaccubus?
I'm doing good. I've got my cup of tea, and it's awesome to be working with you guys.
Oh, look at that! Crazy
mind
effects.
Blown. He is cute because he's British.
Give us your understanding of what you'll be doing for us, so we don't have to talk about it ourselves.
Okay, sure. I'm going to be managing the Frag Center. So, guys, if you've made any awesome Frag videos or cool clips or whatever, get to me, go on the Frag Center forums, post it there. Then I can edit it up, make a trailer for you, and we can promote your YouTube channel via our YouTube channel. I'm just generally going to promote as much sort of content as I possibly can with guides, Frag videos, and other bits and bobs that you guys have me do.
Yeah, and then so you'll be working. He's going to be working with Sid a little bit to help improve those tutorials. Maybe even add a voice tutorial component. We'll see. You'll get to hear.
Gonna get your lovely voice into the game.
His lovely lilting voice in there.
Oh, yeah.
We will be having him do as much work as possible.
Rough to me.
But we also want to start establishing more of a presence streaming as well. So you may see Zaccubus actually casting games in our channel. So you can hop into one of the Epic hubs, and maybe he'll be there, maybe he won't. Somebody will be there. You can hop in and get on the TVs, get your game going. So we can actually start fleshing out those tools more to make sure that they are more usable by regular folks as well as kind of professional level casting experiences. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. I'd like to get more of the community involved on this Twitch page as well. Like if we can host players that are already playing in the community, so we can promote them and make them bigger and make them more stars and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean we hope to eventually get to the point where players and teams become what this game is about. I mean the whole game is about a tournament, right? And we want eventually soon clans will be coming back, and so we'll be able to support that in game. in various ways, and then it becomes about competition.
Well, we have
about
so
the
many
tournament.
exciting things coming up in the future, and it's going to be great to have somebody like him around.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have a great team captain now. So
Yes. So when we have our
wait a
next
minute, I
community
didn't
event,
think about that.
somebody may
So I'm
be
going to
on
be
the Epic
timing
team.
everything then.
I have bad news though, guys. I would rather have him in the booth casting.
Aw.
Sorry.
You're trying to save a spot for yourself on the team. That's what
No.
you're doing.
I want. Now I do want you to win. I don't want you to have Zaccubus, but I do want you to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really, really excited.
Yeah,
to
it's awesome.
to
He's
have
been
him.
doing so much amazing stuff for us. It's nice to. I mean, what we wanted is to make sure that he had the time to do everything that we knew he can contribute. I mean, I think, figuring out how to share with other people. I mean, and he knows a lot about competition. He's a competitive player, so it's really we came up with huge lists of ways that Zaccubus could help us with UT. So it becomes an easy decision when we've
We're
got
not
more
gonna
things for him
have-
to do than he'll have time to do. So
We're not going to have any problem finding him things to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
Have you removed the coins from ASDF yet, Steve?
the what?
the
the
coins?
coins.
I fixed that a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah, Sid fixed that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no,
There you go. See, right there.
I was just asking
But
what they
I
do.
think it's a valid point though. Like one of the best benefits to doing this is that he is well and truly a community member, so that gives everyone kind of another point of contact to connect us to the community, which is what we're trying to do here. So
Absolutely. So, when do you start work?
I kind of already started.
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
what I officially started, but I just started doing stuff. And
Okay,
yeah,
let's have
keep
fun
chucking it
doing
at me.
So I have all kinds of things to throw your way too. So we're really excited to have you with us. Make sure everybody reaches out to Zaccubus on Facebook, on Twitter. Send him your videos on the forums. We want to see those videos. Just have so many to watch. We just don't even know what to do with ourselves.
absolutely.
So, especially those the top 5 videos of the week because they're so much
Yeah.
fun and
Yeah.
so cool. All right, thank you so much, Zaccubus, for stopping by, and we'll be
No
definitely
problem.
talking to you again soon.
That also, speaking of the videos, that also reminds me we want more people playing on Fridays,
Yes.
Yeah.
which we
Yes.
were supposed to talk about and you skipped because
you
we
know,
dove right into Steve's exciting.
You know,
build
that's the
notes.
second week in a row I did that. Come play with us this Friday. We play at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're on the hubs, the Epic Games official hub.
Yeah.
Come play with us. We have a really good time,
Yeah.
and you can beat up on Zach.
Come make Matt smack his mouse.
Tell your friends. I mean, really, we would love to really see this grow, and I mean, we would really want to fill up our hub. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have lots of room. We can.
I've actually been tempted the past 2 weeks to turn on the skill filter because I get my ass handed to me so badly. But yeah,
I know.
it's good to see people there.
It shoots my confidence down because on the weekends I play, I have no problems, and then on Friday afternoons it's like, oh god.
but even if you're not very good, still, we'll, I mean.
Yeah,
we can
come in my
and
house.
there's lots of matches. We'll I mean, you can see what skill people are, with their badges, and so just create a match or find a match that has people that you can play with. I mean, we want everybody to be playing and having fun with us. So.
Yeah, and even people at Epic.
Yeah.
We want them to come.
Well,
play
and generally, yeah, few of us are good, but many of us will help bring the.
Bring the curve down.
Yum Yum will be in my hub. That's how we'll hang out. Sorry, Yum Yum. All right, next we are going to take a look at CTF-Dock. Dock by Nato. Thank you, Nato. This is an awesome map.
Yes, we are revisiting Doc, and he's made some pretty significant changes to the midfield, which basically means we worked it. So we are now in one base here. This is kind of a new path out. The
Yeah, I
midfield
love
is
it.
now also asymmetrical. So basically you have this big crane tower structure over here.
Be conscious of your camera movements then, by the way.
Zach's asking me to move my camera faster, so I'll try and do that.
And more unpredictably too.
Yes.
Nato hype.
No, I mean so just sitting in this map before we even saw it yesterday, it looks incredible. You've got the ship
Very
on one
iconic.
side. Yeah, I mean it's instantly recognizable. It looks and feels very UT. So
Yeah.
definitely worth calling that out. I think.
So basically you now have a high path over here that connects to the console
Control room.
room that
Yeah.
orders in the big crates from this crane here that's going to carry you damage in it. Then you have the mid path down here with a shield belt, and then the low path on the side. It also has a Redeemer down in the water. One I think he did that I think was cool is add this little, change the post effect for being underwater to make it at least a little bit more, apparent, and
Watery.
also you have a kind of a little bit of a visual trade-off being down there, because that is still a relatively safe route to kind of sneak around and try and get out here, and you can go from one end to the other. And tying into that too, he actually, which a lot of people were asking for, he added a route on the bottom of the ship.
Oh, the sneaky route.
So now you can. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool
Yeah,
thematically
that's
too.
where I saw Zach go out
It's a
last
hull
night.
breach shield. Whoa.
You guys had a standoff on this one yesterday afternoon. I missed that playtest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playtest was awesome.
We actually played it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, we
Oh,
played 2 full
I
rounds.
just saw the last one, I think.
And all those changes worked out really, really well.
That base is still a little bit tight, but not necessarily in a bad way. I actually kind of liked it.
One thing to maybe look out for is
Line of sight.
line of sight. Like once people actually start realizing to pay attention to this, it turn into like CTF phase spawn killing style gameplay pretty quickly, where
Oh,
you
hell yeah.
could pin people relatively easily. I mean,
It was
also-
especially hard from on the receiving end from the other side, because that tall ledge there, you were really, really hidden.
yeah.
So you and Tom, I think, were both up there at the same time, and
I mean, it remains to be seen. Sort of, if people need to adjust to that playstyle. It needs to sit for a little bit, because you can be more conscientious about how you move around the map and try and stay out of line of sight of those sniper spots too. So I wouldn't necessarily knee-jerk react to it, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. The crane mechanic is cool. It took a lot of work to actually get the U damage to show up. So
a lot of work and a lot of time.
yeah. 'Cause I think he doesn't. I think he's intending for it to work a little bit differently and hasn't quite got the setup 100% yet. I think maybe because initially it's attached to the one in the boat, and then you think it's supposed to take this one out and kind of bring it over as a shortcut maybe or something, but then it actually disappears behind the map and brings a fresh kit around. I don't know. Like it's not quite there in terms of how understandable it is and how useful it actually is in terms of how much time it takes for it to be triggered. So. I assume he's planning on working on that more, but if not, then that would be a good thing to look at and try and make it a little bit more intuitive and a little bit more useful for people. But yeah, other than that, man, I think all his changes
looks
were really, really great,
fantastic.
and should be cool to see once we have some more assets out in the wild. Once he gets to actually meshing this should be awesome. And it's also, for as much harping on asymmetrical as I used to do in the past, I think this kind of falls into that good in between. Both bases stand well on their own. It has a good midfield. It's not too heavily biased on one side or the other, which turns out being more agreeable with most people. So, and it has a cool thematic hook, so it has a little bit of that assault-like feel. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a really great example of a good asymmetric CTF map.
Yeah, we played with 10 people yesterday, and it did not feel overly crowded for the size.
Yeah.
But I think we would have been just as well if we had 4 or 6.
Yeah.
We still could have had a good match in here. So
The pace was good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
Absolutely.
of really, really good things going on in here.
All right. Awesome job, dude.
Looks fantastic. So next,
Next up.
we are going to look at a map by Joellll, and it's DM-TwentySeven.
DM-TwentySeven.
DM-TwentySeven. And this is for duels, right?
Yeah, his intention was a dual/small FFA map. Admittedly, when we played yesterday, we didn't get as much time on it as I would like to, and
We did have
we
8 or
played
10
with
people.
6 people to begin with, and then as people trickled into the playtest, we ended up I think with 9 people in here,
Oh, ouch.
which was a little bit crowded. So from what I recall from his thread, was he's basically going for a little bit more old school
This is reminding me of
99
Agony a little
style
bit.
map that is a little bit more, in the vein of Codex, like tighter,
Mhm.
faster because of that. And scaling is one of those tricky subjects anyways, because everybody has their own idea of what scaling constitutes, and based on what game they favor in the past, etc. I can see how people will call this a very tight and cramped map, just if they're 2K4 players, because they're used to, you know, people looking like little dwarfs left and right on everything, and they're not used to navigating, you know, tight spaces fast around corners that are, you know, a little bit more projectile friendly and less hit scan friendly. That being said, the rocket was still insanely powerful in this map, and I really like a lot of the, you know, corner setups and stuff, but I think it could do with a tiny bit more balance between open and enclosed spaces. Some of these ended up being pretty tight. On the other hand,
well, I think a large part of that was also that there's a spawn point right next to the rocket launcher, so everybody had one all the time.
Plus, we were playing with 9 people again, so you know, I can unfortunately give good feedback on, you know, from the dual side of things, because we didn't actually get to play that. Which I think would be more interesting, and that's kind of his goal to begin with. And you wouldn't have that issue with 2 people spawning so much, but.
And I actually really enjoyed the overall scale, you know, the tight corridors and stuff. Like you said, it was very much a throwback to UT9 99 style play.
The Quake style teleporters, I'm not a huge fan
of.
Oh
yeah, that was weird because you didn't know what it was.
It took a while to actually get used to, you know, understanding what you were trying to look at when you saw that.
Where is it?
The CAG. I'm not sure. I don't know. Actually, I guess that was part of your changes, Stuart. You made you added some readability for people getting shot when they have the CAG.
So the rim shader for when you get shot, if the person that you hit had a lot of armor, or you hit him with a lot of damage but he didn't die, then because of armor, then it'll do a gold rim shade instead of the normal damage thing to tell you, to explain that to you. And then also, if the same thing happens because he's got super health, whether it's from a keg or from a bunch of vials, it'll do a blue rim shader instead. So hopefully kind of improve the readability of what's going on when you're damaging people and what their status is.
Scaling, a lot of those steps feel awkward. They feel huge compared to your size.
So that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, overall, I think the scale of the map was good, but watch those details with...
Because they actually did start affecting navigation, because you do, you know, you bump up there probably like... What, like 40 or something? Something that's just barely underneath the limit of max step height, which ends up jerking you around a lot when you walk up. Let's see what else. There was something else I wanted to bring up.
It's also readability, right? Like, you can't tell, am I supposed to jump up there or can I walk up there? And it just, it leads to confusion.
Did you play this map with Zach yet, Sid? In your little daily duels?
Oh. RZE Zach?
RZE Zach.
No, we should sword fight on this. But yeah, I think it's really nice to see this different type of flavor of dual map that's a little bit tighter.
It's very UT.
I think it has a ton of potential, so awesome job, dude.
Yeah.
All right, and now we have the concept art of the week.
Yay.
And it's by Aberiu, and I love this, and Shelly loves it too. So this is what a girl's favorite. This is his rendition of Freylis, the one of the favorite girl characters from the original UT. So love it. Thank you, Aberiu. And I will have this on a bigger version on our blog and on Facebook and Twitter, so people can download it. And she's one of the coolest necklaces, I think, so especially from the first UT. So everybody loves this one, and thank you very much for posting it. Make sure we have something really special tomorrow on the Engine stream. The guys from Rocket League, or Dave Hagwood, is going to be here. Well, actually, he's going to be Skyped. He's going to be on Skype. So make sure you.
Well, now it's not as cool. Now it's not as cool anymore.
It's not as cool, but he will be here. Rocket League is just blowing up the internet. You can right now, if you unlock certain things, you can unlock an Unreal Engine flag. So that's really cool. And people are having a blast with this game, and people are getting super skilled. And there's a lot of videos and stuff.
For people who don't know who Dave is, he was one of the contractors that we work with on U2004 that helped us develop the Onslaught game type. And they've done a lot of really cool Unreal Engine stuff since then as well.
Psionics, right? We worked with Psionics on, so
that was one
Onslaught and all the vehicles. So yeah, Dave is a longtime part of the Unreal Tournament community. And
he is. Yeah, a couple of those guys, and we got to talk to them too. And we started with UDK. They jumped on the forums and helped out and talked to a lot of the modders and everything. So we're really excited to talk to them. We're really happy for them. Congratulations, Psyonix! And so make sure you stop by tomorrow and not only get to hassle Alex, you get to also maybe ask a question of Dave. So, and Joe Kreiner will be here. Dana will also be here. She'll be talking about the Big Data VR Challenge, and she'll be talking to LumaPi, who will be here as well. So it's going to be really good tomorrow, so make sure you stop by and watch. And make sure you come play with us this Friday, 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Come beat us up, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.